Do you book your next cruise while on board your current cruise? Do you visit the Future Cruise Desk? If you don't, you could be missing out big time. Today, we'll review the benefits and risks of booking your next cruise while still on board. Today on Seymour Seas. I have to admit that I have actually never booked my next cruise while still on board visiting the Future Cruise Desk. Now, I'm an experienced cruiser, I'm an experienced travel advisor, so I know better. So even I could be missing out on promotions as well as throwing my money away. Today, we're going to review what the major cruise lines could offer you by booking your next cruise while still on board. Hi, everyone, and welcome. If you are new here, I am Doug, and this is Seymour Seas, your cruise tips and planning channel, where I hope to help you and your family pick, plan, and enjoy your next cruise vacation. When you are looking to book your next cruise, please email me here at the email address shown on the screen, and I'd be happy to assist you and your family on your next amazing vacation. If you are a cruise enthusiast, I do also ask you to consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help me out, and I appreciate it very, very much. Thanks, everybody, and let's get started. So what is a future cruise onboard booking? What do I mean by that? Well, there is normally a sales desk that is located somewhere near guest relations or other customer service areas where you can walk up or by appointment, sit down with a very knowledgeable cruise consultant from the cruise line that is extremely knowledgeable and extremely helpful. They will go over all of the destinations that they offer worldwide, ask you your interests, and obviously ask about your current cruise. Depending on the cruise line, the suites guests also have cruise consultants that they can meet with normally in the suites lounge by appointment. So as you get your consultation, or you might have something already in mind, you can do one of two things. You can actually book that cruise with normally some additional amenities and maybe a reduced deposit, or you can do an open deposit for a future cruise at a reduced rate. This allows you to take a little bit more time, normally anywhere up to 1 year, to decide exactly which cruise you're going to apply that deposit towards. Now, some cruise lines do offer additional amenities for that cruise deposit if you choose within something like 60 days. Virgin Voyages, for example, will give the sailor $600 additional onboard credit if they do book within that 60 days, but anything after that, the onboard credit drops to $300. I'm really curious to know how many of you out there actually use the onboard booking or the future cruise deposit when you cruise. Do you normally pick the cruise that you're interested in and book that specific cruise, or do you put the open future deposit down and then choose later? What kind of experiences have you had with the various cruise lines? Please let us know in the comments below. Let's actually get into some of the details now with what the major cruise lines are going to offer you while on board for your future cruise. We will start with the mass market cruise lines. These are going to be the cruise lines such as Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise Line, Norwegian, as well as MSC. These are the more family-friendly and even sometimes the budget cruise lines. One of the first major benefits that you're going to notice when you sit down with that consultant is they're going to begin to talk to you about a benefit of reduced deposit. This is a lower threshold requirement than you're normally going to find. It sometimes is good up to 1 year, and many times these are going to be also fully refundable. Many cruise lines make sure that if you do not choose that future cruise within 1 year, that deposit will be refunded automatically, and you will lose all those additional bonus benefits. Another big benefit is going to be the onboard credit that you will receive that will be available to you pre-cruise as well as on board. That is a way to pay for excursions, specialty dining. You may be able to purchase your Wi-Fi package, a drink package. And one thing to note, most promotional onboard credit is not refundable at the end of the cruise. So if you do not use all of that onboard credit, you will lose it. It is not refunded back to you at the end of your cruise. And another large benefit that you'll receive for your future cruise booking will be discounted rates. Many times there is a onboard rate that you will be able to get that you will not get from the consumer website or possibly even through your travel agent. The cruise lines do have non-published corporate headquarter rates that these consultants can use for this special pre-booking. Another major benefit that you'll receive for this future cruise is the flexibility. Now, if you have a specific cruise in mind, you can put the same deposit down for that specific cruise, or if you're still deciding, same deposit, but it is open-ended and you can choose at a later date, as I mentioned before. The other thing is that you can assign this booking or this deposit to the travel advisor that you currently use, and that is something that the cruise line should have on file if they made that reservation, or when you can do what's called a travel advisor takeover, or TA takeover as we call it. And I assure you, it is always a great idea to have your experienced travel advisor service that reservation for you. Most cruise lines will also have some sort of price protection built into these future cruise bookings or future cruise deposits while on board. This happens when there are new promotions that are offered, or if the prices should drop, you will have the ability to reprice your cruise without any penalties whatsoever. There are a few things to take note of here. One is going to be the amount of onboard credit that you're going to be offered. There's a lot of variables that go into this, and the biggest ones are the length of the cruise. Obviously, the longer the cruise, the more onboard credit. And then you also have the category of stateroom. The higher level categories, such as the balcony or the larger balcony or even the suites, are going to have a bigger discounted rate, and you're probably going to have more onboard credit to spend. You may also want to ask that consultant when you're sitting down with them, are there any free upgrades available in this type of promotion as well? Let's move on now to some of the premium cruise lines. These cruise lines are cruise lines such as Princess Cruises, Holland America Line, Celebrity Cruises, Virgin Voyages, Disney Cruises, as well as Cunard. These cruises are normally a little bit more expensive than the mass market, but not always. Some of those new mega ships are much more expensive than a comparable Celebrity Cruise or Holland America Cruise for that matter. You do normally get, though, the higher levels of service, cuisine, as well as amenities. One big difference, though, with the premium cruise lines is that almost all of them have a mostly all-inclusive option that you can upgrade to. These are things like Princess Plus from Princess Cruises, Have It All from Holland America, Celebrities All Included, and there's others. This includes most often a drink package, a Wi-Fi package. Some include gratuities, as well as sometimes even a specialty dining and some additional onboard credit. The premium cruise lines also use very similar incentives for your future cruise booking. These are things such as the reduced deposit for a future cruise, an open deposit that is flexible. You can choose your cruise later. Others actually issue you future cruise credits at an increased rate that you can use for a future cruise. The onboard credit levels are just like the mass market lines in that the longer your cruise or the higher level of your stateroom, you will receive additional onboard credit at various amounts and levels. Price protection guarantees also normally apply here, so make sure that you're asking that when you're talking to your consultant on board. One of the major differences in the premium segment is those mostly all-included packages that they offer. On an early booking or on an onboard future booking, normally these packages will be offered at an upgraded level, such as the Princess Plus is now Princess Premium. Have It All is Have It All Plus, and other cruise lines have similar early booking bonuses. Virgin Voyages, as I mentioned earlier, will provide the sailor $600 of onboard credit if they convert that open deposit to a firm booking within 60 days. Some things to take into consideration is that these onboard bookings or future cruise deposits normally cannot be combined with other promotions that are prevailing in the reservation process. So, for instance, if your travel advisor has access to a group rate that they could apply to your booking, these normally are not compatible or combinable. Also, if there are any onboard credits available from the agency, normally these cannot be added to that booking deposit, so just keep those things in mind. Now for some final thoughts. Now, this onboard booking or this future cruise deposit is normally a no-brainer for most cruisers. Now, it could be a situation where you are not 100% all in or you're just not ready. So if that's the case, just get up and walk away and wait until you get home. The onboard credit that you receive and the reduced rates are a big benefit for this onboard booking. The flexibility that you're going to have with respect to choosing the exact cruise itinerary at a later date is huge and something that you should highly consider. So many cruisers don't take advantage of this, and I am embarrassed to say I'm one of them. Again, I have not done the onboard booking, but in our next cruise, I'm going to highly consider it. Also, never be concerned about your travel advisor getting credit for that reservation. The cruise line will have them on file. They can assign it at the time of booking or at the time of deposit, or just simply notify your travel advisor when you get home, because they normally have within a couple weeks to 30 days to take over that reservation. So just do it as soon as possible when you return home. So on your next cruise, make sure that you stop by that future cruise desk and see what kind of deal that you can get. Thanks everybody so much for watching, and if you did like this video, I do ask that you consider subscribing to the channel for additional cruise content just like this. And on your next cruise, when you're ready to book, make sure that you email me here at the email address shown on the screen, or find my contact information in the video description. Thanks so much everybody for watching, and you might want to watch one of these related videos next. Thanks again. And as always, I'll see you again soon.